What is going on, and welcome back to Rebel Rescue with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. Today, we're going to do the end of season review, which is, as you can see, just after appearing, just beaten Roma in our final Europa League game. And as you can see, it's a disappointing season, only winning 5 trophies. Shows 4 here. We have actually won 5. But if you do want to enjoy this episode, do of course make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. So as I said in the intro, just the 5 trophies this year rather than, was it 6 we got last year? It was just because we didn't win that Senior Challenge Cup. The one that the board actually wanted us to win. We didn't win, and they're really disappointed. We were the biggest underachievers for making it to the semi-fucking final. We just missed out in the final, and they're like, nah, it's not good enough. You've really upset us with that one. So Dan Duca gets player or signing of the season, which I'm not surprised by. 7.59. The guy has been exceptional, and we got him for nothing. I think that's fairly decent business on our part. Obviously they wanted us to win the league, which, you know, that's kind of like standard at this stage. Colin Whelan with 33, pretty good. 63% average home attendance. Would be nice if we could increase that. I do want to get a new stadium at some point, but we're not going to worry about it just yet. The board, pleased. I don't think there's much we can really do apart from winning the English League as well somehow, or winning the Irish League, the Northern Irish League. There's just not a huge amount we can really do, to be fair, because they're just expecting it every year now. The biggest win was 7-0 against Shelburne, relegated Shelburne. Match to remember was 4-2 against Partizan, where we had 2 players scoring hat-tricks, or braces, should I say. And goal of the season was Ormeno's goal against Slovan Bratislava, which ye got to see. Fantastic. Ooh, we've got an extra half a star. Get in. So sponsorship money is up a decent amount-ish. It'd be nice if we could get more sponsorship. It is quite difficult, it seems, to get sponsorship in Ireland. Broadcast revenue has just rocketed up. We got more than 1 million extra. That is fantastic. Corporate and hospitality is up. Competition prize money is down, but that's because we didn't make the Champions League group stage, which is a massive, lucrative amount of money. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Matchday commercial and retail is up ever so slightly. That's, you know, it's grand. It's grand, it's whatever. 5 players who've sold the most shirts. The ones I'd expect: Carlsberg, Coleman, Onofriti, Vestergaard, and Whelan. That is delightful. Again, Prinz, Mulder, Fabian, and Tunde no longer playing for the club. So that's a bit annoying. Colin Whelan, 59 appearances for the season, 58 goals, 11 assists. That's not bad. Carlsberg, just the 33 assists, 27 goals. I think it's fair to say he's pretty much, like, you know, he's a pretty important player. Vestergaard also 20 assists. Quigley with 12. Like, we have a pretty good team. I won Manager of the Month for 3 months, which is delightful. Fans Player of the Season went to Carlsberg. Cannot tell you enough. Paul Carlsberg is probably the GOAT of FM. Sign him. Do it. He's also won Young Player of the Season. Signing of the season went to Duca. Goal of the season, as we saw, went to Ormeno. Top goal scorer, Colin Whelan, with just 58 goals. A little bit of a disappointing season for him. Most assists, Carlsberg with 33. And most man of the matches with 13. And the highest average rating of an 8. Which is just, that's insane. Most assists by player in the season is now Carlsberg with 33. And the most player of the matches of the season is Carlsberg with Carlsberg assists with 33. 13 Man of the Match awards. Colin Whelan has the most league goals with 137. Highest transfer fee paid for now, Sean Foggerty, 600k. Also, he won goalkeeper of the year, so can't wait for him to come in. Highest transfer fee received, 530,000 for Kneen when he went to Burton. And Onofriti scored after 11 seconds. So Irish under 21 player of the year, Ryan Coleman. Irish young player of the year, Ryan Coleman. Irish Player of the Year, Colin Whelan. Irish League of Ireland top goal scorer, Colin Whelan. Irish Premier Division Player of the Year, Paul Carlsberg. Irish Premier Young Player of the Year, Paul Carlsberg. I am telling you, Paul Carlsberg is he's a cheat code. Let's see how's Prinz been getting on at Regensburg. Played 19, conceded 20. That's pretty good. Did miss out on making his 100th appearance first. I probably should have given him his 100th game. But no. How's Albrecht been getting on? Albrecht has played 83 times for Utercheng. Fabian, I think he's not played too many games. Yeah, Frosinone, come off the bench 12 times. He's probably going to regret that transfer that he decided to do. Ali Gilchrist, what are you up to these days? Still playing for East Stirling, or moved to East. No, he's still playing for East Stirlingshire. Has played 50. Noam Emeran, playing in Rwanda, having a banger of a time. He's fucking loving life. Farnberger, playing for Holstein Kiel. Well, he's on the books of Holstein Kiel. Hasn't played yet. Karim Tunde is playing in Nigeria. He is indeed, and he is having a fantastic time as well. Congratulations. And Cian Murphy is dominating for Dundalk. As you can see from, you can't see because I'm blocking it. He's had quite the 3 seasons with them since he left us. So you're welcome. I did everything I could for him. I gave him everything that I could, and he has just run with it. He's been fantastic. So they want us to work within the wage budget, which we've got like 40,000 spare wage budget. Maintain the club's status as the most reputable team in Ireland. It would be quite difficult for us to drop that at this stage. It would take more than a season for us to stop being the most reputable team. And maintain the best youth system in the country. They won't let me upgrade the youth facilities, and they haven't been allowing me to do it for the last year. I'm not sure why. Of course, they want us to win the Premier Division as always. They want us to reach the 3rd qualifying round this year. So they're expecting more of us. They want us to maintain, but also develop the best youth system in the country. And just continue to win the league, which is fine by me. Team report. We had a slight change of tactic for the last one because we didn't have any left wingers available to play, which obviously is not ideal. Players are off until the 18th of January. As you can see, 6-0 against Roma. It was quite a game. Rylychenko banged in a hat-trick. Colin Whelan scored a brace, and Onofriti scored one as well. It was a pretty decent game. Obviously topped our group, unbeaten, 19 goal difference. We were exceptional in the Europa League, and we have made a signing already because the transfer window is open. Couldn't play in the last game because obviously not registered in the Champions League. John Nugent, the runner-up for top goal scorer for the last couple of seasons, I think. Might have been 3rd. Yeah, 3rd this year. I think it was 3rd last year. But he's come in now as our as a striker for us. So, pretty spicy striker. The best, according to my assistant manager, reckons he's the best striker in the team. Kind of curious, actually. Season preview. Whelan and Nugent. Yeah, we're dominating the best 11. The left and right winger we don't have, and the goalkeeper. But I think that's going to change when Foggerty joins us. He should, in theory, bring us up a level. And we do have, as I said, a couple of players. We've a few signings that are being made. Manuel Jesus Vidana from Granada, who is coming in. It's a pretty decent looking player. 5-star potential, 18 years old, 2.5-star current ability. Not going to be starting straight away, but he's a decent looking player. And then our Chinese striker, who we've been waiting to sign since, God, it's been a while. It's months. I think we signed him or offered him a pre-contract in July. And then we have this Honduran who we have agreed to sign. He's actually injured at the minute. It's only 4 days. We're not going to be able to sign him for like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years because he's currently 16. We have to wait for him to turn 18. So, and also Jimmy Stanley, I don't know if I showed you him. This is the guy that came through our youth system. He's from Tralee, but he's been signed by New York. We're actually scouting him at the minute to see if he's any good, because it'd be interesting to see how we did with us. So that is everything that we've got at the minute. We don't have any. Our Brian Purcell, the guy who was training to be one of our new left wingers, has decided he's going to join Dundalk. I think it's Dundalk. He had 4 offers, and yeah, Dundalk. So we're going to leave that there. We will be back in just a second with the roundup of the transfers. I'm going to say the first league game of the season in the next episode, because I don't think the draw, or because we're not in the first knockout round, we're going into the second knockout round of the Europa League. We should get 2 games off where everyone else will be playing. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on in that. I don't know if they'll be drawing it. I don't know what it's been so long since I played in the Europa League. I don't remember anything. So we do have a decent amount of money for transfers, actually. We've 14.5 million in the bank. We have 6 million transfer budget. And we've committed to spend a 52,000. But the wage budget is 90. So we have sizable money left for making any and all transfers that we desire. So as I said, we will be back in just a second, so I can update you on any and all transfers. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a second. Right, fellas, so we are after arriving at the end of the transfer window. I've already played a couple of games because I didn't really see the point in bringing you back for the league games. We've drawn Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Europa League. I'm a little bit weary. I'm not 100% sure that I'm happy about how this is going. They beat Braga, so like it's not the most difficult game we could have gotten, but at the same time, it's like we've proven we can beat Roma. So in theory, Borussia Mönchengladbach shouldn't be too difficult. As I said, we have played a couple of games since you were here, or since the season started. We beat Derry City 6-0 in the President's Cup. Quite a comfortable victory in the end. Beat Waterford 1-0 in our first league game. We really laboured to that victory. It was a bit more difficult than it should have. Then we beat Sligo comfortably. As you can see, our 2 new strikers scoring in their first 2 starts. I think, yeah, Hwang did start that game. Against Rockmount, comfortable 6-0 victory. Colin Whelan came off the bench and scored a brace. We'll have a little bit of words about him in a minute because he's not happy. Against Derry, we won 3-2. It was a very different style Derry side to what we played in the Cup. They came out and they actually wanted to play football, which was interesting. I think before that game, Sean Foggerty hadn't conceded in 3 games. I think it was 270 minutes or something, and then they scored in the 13th minute for a very questionable penalty. But then we got our own questionable penalty, so it's whatever. We also picked up quite a number of yellow cards, which you gotta love the players wanting to play for the team. Balance wise, we have just over 11.5 million. So we're pretty okay money wise. Even though it says we're just secure, I'd say in terms of Irish football, we're pretty rich. We still have 4.2 million in the bank, and we have plenty of wage budget. We have agreed to sign a player in July at the end of their contract, a Man United player. But we do have also Man United, Liverpool, I think Chelsea and Man City are all interested in some of our players, and Paris Saint-Germain have already signed one of our players. So, as you can imagine, we're a little bit weary of what's going on. So, Willie Camwala, as you might remember, you might recognize the name. He played, not anymore because he was sold, played for Le Lujo in his Tour de France series. That's what it's called, isn't it? Tour de France. I'm a little bit behind on it. I remember Camwala was playing for him. Camwala actually has only started playing since we agreed to sign him, which I find just very peculiar. They waited until he agreed to leave the club to start playing him. but that's fine. We're also signing Aaron Norales, but I think you already knew about him. He's a couple of years away because he is only 16. We have to wait till he turns 18 to join us. Hopefully he'll progress by the time he gets here. And then Adrian Atienza has, as I said, decided to go to PSG for 250,000 plus 20% sell on, which is fine. He wasn't really a first team player at the team, and he's off to play in France. Alan Murphy's clause is 8.5 million. We can't sell Luke Keane's anymore, but that happened last year as well. So I'm pretty well, not pretty confident. I'm somewhat confident that he won't get an extension to his contract, and he's probably going to get released. So I'm thinking if we get the opportunity to buy his clause, we'll probably do it, or to sell his clause, because I don't think we're going to get use of it if we don't. So as I said, John Nugent, one of our new players from Bohemians, has been in pretty decent form since he came in. He's played, started 2 games, come off the bench once, has scored, averaged a 7.5. Fantastic. Huang has been pretty good so far as well, I have to say. He's played 3 games, twice come off the bench, or twice started and twice been off the bench. 3 goals, 7.28 average. Again, not too bad. Played for China after he arrived in the Asian Cup, I think it was. And they got knocked out by, I think it was Qatar. I didn't actually check to see who won the Asia Cup. I don't care. UAE beat Iran. So they got knocked out in the quarterfinals by an actual pretty decent Qatar side. But they did the business. Is he ranked highly? He is 3rd best player in China. Plays for Cork City. He's already scored more goals, or the same amount of goals, in 3 games for us as he did in his entire time in Germany. So I think we're after getting ourselves a winner. The board are super pissed, and the fans are not a big fan. Interestingly enough, the fans do not like Vidana. I'm not sure why. He's played really quite well. 4 games, 1 goal, 7.95 average. I think he's going to be fantastic. We paid a decent amount of money for him, but he is worth up to 3 million. So he's not registered to play in the the Europa League. I was going to say Champions League. We're not in the Champions League anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, I think he's going to be fantastic. I think the 3 of those players together, amazing. Sean Foggerty is wanted by Liverpool and Man United. So he's played 3 games, conceded twice, and that was both in the last game. We're probably going to end up losing him, but I have transfer value on him of 1.1 million, and he doesn't have a mandatory fee release clause thing. So if we can make a decent chunk of change off him, that would be fantastic. We still have 3 very good goalkeepers in the first team anyway. We also sold Gavin Dunn to Watford. For some reason they paid us 27,000 when they could have just waited like 2 weeks and his contract would have expired and he would have been leaving the club anyway. Deng Bon has gone to Guangzhou City in China. I'm sad. I like him. I think he would have been a decent player, but I don't think he was ever going to get enough first team football. Brian Purcell was like a reject of our under 19s, joined Dundalk. And as you can see, since the season has ticked over, we haven't actually signed any players, but we have sent a bunch of players out on loan. And Marcelo Pitaluga has joined Cruzeiro for 80k, potential rising to 105,000, that's fine. He was grand. He was our like Champions League goalkeeper, which is ironic because he wasn't really playing in the league, but he was getting game time in the Champions League. I never fully understand my logic in that sense, but we're taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach, and this is how we're going to be laying up. This will be in the next episode, but you can see as well here some of the players that have interest in them. Roy Quigley has been dropping off and coming back a lot recently, but as you can see, 110 games for Cork City at the tender age of 21, almost as good as Coleman. 137 games, 16 in the league for him. But as I said, Colin Whelan is unhappy. It says because I changed from being a star player. That was an accident. I was going through my monthly meeting with my staff, and I was just make changes. I saw a bunch of stuff over on the side, and it was like, oh, this guy's not playing enough first team football. Meant to click the one, ended up clicking Colin Whelans, and now he's pissed, super pissed, and he's really unhappy about it. The only player that agrees with him is Ormeno, who's been causing a bit of an issue recently. He doesn't seem to be the best player in the world to have in the team, but the 2 strikers that came in disagree with him, so they're more than happy to just ignore him. We do have 30 players in the first team. Ormeno is the only one that doesn't fully back me, but the team cohesion pretty decent as well. Can't complain about that. But we do have, as I said, interest. You saw Sean Foggerty is wanted by Liverpool and Man United. Vestergaard is wanted by Al Ittihad. So I think we're going to get a decent chunk of change if they do offer to buy him. I think he has a value. Yeah, I've set a value of 875 on him, and he's happy with that, so that's perfect. Gauthier recently just acquired interest from Man City, which I'm weary of, because we all know Man City just come along and they take what they want because it's Manchester City. And other than that, I don't think there's any players in the first team that we're going to be worrying about losing. But Atienza off to PSG in July, that's fine. That's fine. He wasn't a first team player. I've dropped him to the under 19s just so I don't have to look at him. We do have a few players in the under 19s that you're probably going like, well, where were they? Cathal Heffernan, I've decided we're done with. He is on the transfer list. Shamrock Rovers put in an offer for him. Transfer window closed, and he didn't leave, so that's a bit annoying. Alton is listed as well, just because I don't think he's going to get. He's not good enough to play in the first team. Ono Sene is transfer listed as well. Shamrock Rovers, and Sligo and St. Pat's put in loan offers for him, and then the window closed and he couldn't go. So I think it was loan offers they put in for him. So he is stuck here for a little while longer, but hopefully that won't be the case. We do have a bunch of players out on loan as well. This is something I constantly get asked about. It's only 18 players. It's not that bad. It's whatever. Bozinski has gone to Macedonian side. Yeah, he has. He's gone on loan to a Macedonian side. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on, because I don't have Macedonia loaded. Weirdly enough. I should show you what's expected of us. So we're expected to reach the 3rd qualifying round of the Champions League, but that'll be in like July time. They want us to just be competitive in the Europa. How have we passed? Was that for the season this season? Or is that for? I think that's for next season. But everything else is pretty unimportant apart from the league. They want us to win that and the Senior Challenge Cup. My contract expires at the end of next season, but they want us to continue winning the Premier Division. And as I said, the players are pretty happy with what's going on in the world. I am a legend of the club, as is Paul Kalsberg, as it should be. Paul Kalsberg should be a legend everywhere he goes. The man is a legend. So we're going to leave the episode there. Next episode will be both legs against Borussia Mönchengladbach, because that's the most important thing, is how we do in the Europa League, because we could win it this year. Imagine if we did win the Europa League. I'd be pretty steezed on myself if I won the Europa League this early in the same. I was expecting like 10 years before we were in like making group stages of like the Europa League. The fact we've cruised our Europa League group has been fantastic. So if you did enjoy this episode, do of course make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I'll catch you for tomorrow. Tomorrow? Will it be tomorrow? I don't know when. I'm not sure what day it is. For the next episode against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Europa League. Thank you for watching, fellas, and I will catch you in the next one.